Hello everyone and welcome. Though I've designed today's class to be a full body complete experience, I have put particular focus on the muscles of respiration. And I've been surprised at how many people don't understand that the lungs themselves, they're not made of muscle. And so what moves the lungs is actually the respiratory muscles, and those are the muscles, the rib cage and the diaphragm, which kind of sticks to the outside of the lungs. The outside of the lungs sticks to the inside of the rib cage muscles and the diaphragm, and that's actually what moves your lungs. And so if you have restricted movement there, your breathing will be impaired. And how do you improve this? Well, yoga is a really good way of doing it, because when you move as you breathe, when you exercise as you breathe, those muscles are stretching and contracting even more. So that's what I'm focusing on today. If you aren't as comfortable as you can be, I'm quite padded here. I'm in a makeshift outdoor sort of environment. I've really padded up, so if we are going to be on our knees just a little bit, so if you need some extra padding, you can stop the video and get that now. So let's go ahead now and take this moment to really attune to our precious life, and you do that, of course, by going inward and focusing on the breath. If it helps, just put your hand right to your heart and lower your eyes. And just go inward and notice what's happening. And so what you're doing, you may have had a really busy day. You might have had some discouragements and frustrations. It doesn't matter. You're going inward deeper than that, and you're going into the resonance of your cells. Actually, when you do this, you're going right in, and this is your starting point right here. Whatever's happening, maybe you feel just sweetly relaxed, and that's great if you feel that way. All you're doing is attuning to how you really feel, what's really going on right now. When you touch into that starting point, let's all begin to just breathe a little longer and slower, keeping our awareness in that internal resonance. And perhaps just your own breathing can influence in a positive way exactly what's going on right now. Just see if this works for you. Nice, long, slow breaths. And then just open your eyes slowly if you haven't already done that. Let's just add a little movement as we breathe, and sometimes that really helps to improve the breathing quality. So putting your arms to the sides of the body. As you inhale with palms turned up, you're inhaling all the way your arms up over your head. Just feel that, the biggest inhale you've had all day. And as you exhale, you're just letting the hands come together above your head, bending the elbows, and just bring the arms, or the hands rather, right down to your heart. And then as you inhale, you're bringing those folded hands and arms back up over your head. And then you're going to exhale as fully as you can, just bringing the hands and arms, fingertips back to the floor. And then again, inhaling and bringing the arms up over the head. And letting those fingertips touch as you begin to exhale. Just bring the hands to the heart. Inhaling, breathing the arms back up over your head again. Really feel that stretch as you lift the torso. lift the fingertips. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the arms right back down to the sides of the body. Last time, just go inward and feel everything. As you inhale, you're bringing the arms up over the head. Maybe holding the breath in for just a nanosecond and then exhaling, hands to the heart. Just expel all that staleness. And then as you inhale, lifting those folded hands back over the head, separating the fingers and the hands and reaching. And exhaling, let those fingertips come back to the floor. Putting hands to the heart. Namaste. And as we're in this seated position, let's go ahead and just have a little movement to start moving the body as we're breathing, placing the right hand right to the floor beside you. And on the inhale, you're rising up with that left arm over the head, reaching as far as you can. So as you exhale, just a little C curve as you go over, putting a little weight into that right hand. Keep the breath flowing so that as you inhale next, you're just turning your heart a little bit forward towards the ceiling, and you're noticing the sensation all the way down into your low back as you do that. Carefully, just feeling and breathing. And then slowly revolving back to center and continuing on, this time just turning your chest a little bit to the floor as you reach, and you're trying to affect a little feeling in this lumbar spine all the way down the side. Keeping the breath flowing, just letting those muscles stretch just a little bit. And the next time you inhale, just go ahead and come on back to center. Bringing the arm up as you press into the hand that's on the floor. Reach and exhale. Lower the left hand to the floor. You might already notice a little difference between left and right sides, and just notice whatever's happening. And then the left hand's planted on the floor. You're inhaling, reaching the right arm up, right up over your head. And then as you exhale, you're coming into that little curve, side curve. And just feel this, a little feeling probably in the side body. And just let the body get used to that for a breath. And then the next time you inhale, you're moving the heart just and chest just a little bit towards the ceiling. Just pause. Let the breath flow. And then slowly you're coming back to center. And just continue the movement as you reach the arm over your head. You're continuing the movement so the chest just points a little bit towards the floor this time. Let the head be relaxed. And then you're going to come back to center on the inhale. One movement, or rather one breath, pressing into the left arm, left hand, reaching up. And then you're exhaling that arm down. Put both hands on the knees and just have a tiny little twist. Just start to move, inhaling tall, and just exhale a little bit, the chest and navel to the right. Back to center and to the left. And maybe do that another time. Just start to really embody where you are right now. And just let these little movements show you the way. Lovely, and then let's go ahead and come on up to hands and knees position. And if you need any stretch in your legs after sitting cross-legged for a few minutes, go ahead and do that. And place yourself in the tabletop position and just have a little movement in cat-cow. And again, you're just letting your own body sensations be the guide. As you inhale, you're lifting the heart and the tailbone. And as you exhale, bringing that tummy button closer into the spine as you round the spine. Let's go back and forth like this just for 2 or 3 breaths. Really good. And the next time you inhale, let's come on back to neutral tabletop, so that when you exhale, you can just set your hips right down towards your heels. Elbows touch the floor. Just tuck your chin in. And what I want you to feel is the total releasing of your low back. So let your breath be so slow that when you sink your hips down towards your heels, you can feel the low back release. Let your head and neck relax. And then as you inhale, a little push into the shins, a little push into the forearms, and you're coming right back up, pressing into the inner hands, little lift in the heart. And exhaling, sinking back, hips towards the heels. Make the most of your long, slow breaths and this movement. We're just going to do it a couple more times. Remember, you're just inhaling. You want to find your inner hands when you come up, and a little lift in your heart. And as you exhale, a little progressive abdominal contraction, and you sink your hips towards the heels. And the idea is to let the neck relax, let the low back relax when you get there. And the next time you inhale and you come on back to the position, inner hands strong, heart lifted. On the exhale, come over to the side just a little bit with the hips and the shoulders. Just feel that little movement in the side body. As you inhale back to center, lift the heart. And as you exhale, over to the other side. Let's just do this a couple of times. As you inhale to center, lifting the heart, finding your inner hands. And as you exhale, right hip and right shoulder come a little closer together. Inhaling back to center, little lift in your heart. And exhaling over to the left. Inhaling to center, lovely. And then exhale, hips back towards the heels. Rest your forehead on the floor if you're able to do that. This next sequence, if you're not able to rest your forehead on the floor, you will need a book or a brick or something to rest your forehead on. So just adjust anything you need right now, because you're going to put your hands right to your lower back. And then the next time you inhale, you're going to push right into your shins, leading with the chest, and you're going to sweep your arms up, reach up high. And I really want you to reach with the fingers, reach and extend with your torso, and hold that for just a moment. So that the next time you exhale, you're just going to bend the elbows and just draw the elbows down to shoulder height and really bring the abdominal area close in towards the spine. And when you inhale, you're going to reach up again. And really feel the length in your torso. You're really making these muscles work even in these simple poses. As you exhale next, we're going to do a little twist. You're going to swivel to the right with the chest and the navel, and you're going to bring your arms right to left. Big full inhale. And as you inhale next, you're going to bring the arms straight up over your head. And you're going to exhale to the other side. And take just a pause in this twist and inhale also. And on your next inhale, you're going to rise up. Really feel the length so that when you exhale, you can just gracefully float down back to the starting position, and the forehead rests on the floor and the hands are right on the small of your back. Feel the release in your low back and let the breath slow down. On your next inhale, same thing, you're going to sweep up, really reach up high. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, feel that abdominal contraction. And as you inhale, you're reaching up really high. As you exhale, come right into a twist where you're turning the chest and the navel to the right. Arms are front to back. Next inhale, reach up nice and high. And exhale over to the left. I really want you to feel the breath fully in these movements. And next inhale, you're going to reach up, feel the stretch. And exhale with control, you're coming down, navel coming closer to the spine. And you're coming right back down, chest towards the thighs and hands to the back of the body. Last time now, really make this one count. As you inhale, sweep up. Feel everything as you lengthen the torso. As you exhale, bending the elbows, drawing down, and contract that abdominal core area. As you inhale, you're reaching up. As you exhale, twisting over to the right, movement is flowing now. As you inhale, bringing your arms straight up again, extending the spine. As you exhale, right over to the left. Just notice it's starting to feel easier now. As you inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, let's float right back down again. And forehead to the floor. And from this position, can you interlock your hands palm to palm and begin to lengthen the arms. You're lifting, you want to lift those the shoulder arm junction bone there right away from the floor, and maybe you can press out through your knuckles. If all this feels okay, on your next inhale, you're just going to lift a little bit and roll right onto the crown of your head. And remember, in this, you're not putting a lot of weight in your neck. The structure, the core, your muscles are holding you. You're not plowing a lot of weight into your head and neck. If you're okay, you might want to try to press the arms and the backs of your hands more towards the ceiling. And then just allow any sort of released stretch you can, where you're allowing those hands to come up as high as they can. And some of you might even have the flexibility to allow the interlocked hands to come more towards the head. And so that's just a personal flexibility issue. So you're just letting go and seeing what happens. When you're ready to release, you're going to slowly begin to bring the hips back towards the heels as you lower the arms and hands back towards the back. And then release the hands and arms, coming back up to a seated position. From here, just tuck your toes under. And just allow yourself to have a few breaths and feel that little stretch in the tops of your, or rather in your feet. Your focus is entirely on the breath and on your sensations. Lean forward just slightly and come onto the tops of your feet. Lean your fingers back, and either one leg at a time or both legs, you're just lifting the knees and thighs a little bit and rolling onto the backs of your feet. Lovely. And then let's come on to hands and knees. And come into downward facing dog just by putting your hands one hand length further ahead, flexing the toes under and reaching into your downward facing dog. Just notice the sensations in the back of the shins, anywhere you're feeling the sensation. Maybe it's best for you just to press one heel down at a time. Remember, as you're doing this, you're trying to keep both arms and upper body somewhat stable and still, and you're focusing on the heels and the calves and the lower body as you do this. Very good. And then once you've had a little movement here, try to come into the best expression of this pose for your body. So what you want to feel, of course, is length in the front and back bodies. You want to feel the head and neck relaxed, and you want to feel a little rolling of the shoulder blades, just relaxing outward. It almost feels like the shoulder blades want to slide a little bit more towards your armpits, and see if you feel that. The other thing that might help with this sensation is to feel as though the biceps in the upper arm are spinning back and the triceps are trying to spin forward. And if all that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry. Just feel whatever you're feeling in this pose. As you inhale, let's slowly come into plank. As you're doing that, you're really firm in the core, and you feel your inner hands. You feel the arms strong. Neck is long but relaxed. All the work is happening in the musculature of the core and your upper arms and also the whole of your legs. Can you feel the weight in your big toe, right under your big toe mounds? And then touch the knees to the floor. And let's gently come onto the floor from here. So you're face down on the floor and your arms are straight back. We're just going to come into a really gentle little back bend now. It's going to be so simple, and you're going to just do this sequentially. So what you're feeling is just first you want to feel a nice heaviness in the pubic bone and the tailbone. That part of your body is grounded and rooted to the floor. And all you're doing from here is just start to gently lift your forehead, lift your nose, lift the head. And as you're doing that, you're lifting the arm and shoulder bones as you lift your chest and you reach the arms back. Continue to feel as though your tailbone is pointing between your heels. And reach back with the arms. And you're still breathing. And as you exhale next, you're going to release. Forehead to the floor. Just have a breath or two and then resume that. So you'll be really much more clear, and it'll feel much more clear the next time you do it. So as you inhale, you remember you're letting your pubic bone and tailbone just go heavy. And then you're just lifting the head just ever so slowly off the floor. Lifting those arm and shoulder bones as you lift the chest, and then lifting the arms back. And you're trying to keep the tailbone pointing between the heels. And you're not lifting your head and neck too much. You're just gazing a few inches forward. You're not trying to look at the wall in front of you. Just let your neck be comfortable. And release. Excellent. Have a breath. And then move your arms, if you've got the space, hopefully, into this airplane position. Your arms are right out towards in the same line as your shoulders, more or less. Same exact thing, but the arms are in a slightly different position. As you inhale, just start to lift the forehead, start to lift the head, and then you lift both arms as you lift the chest. And once you've done that, you're really reaching the arms strongly left to right. Grounding through the tailbone, through the pubic bone. Breathing as fully as you can, and when you're ready, you're just going to release. Nice, long, slow breaths. One more time, so just get yourself ready and just flow with this and keep your attention completely on your breathing and on your own sensations. You're slowly lifting the head, lifting slowly those arms and chest. And once you get a little elevation, you're going to reach from left to right as fully as you can. Doesn't matter how high, you're just coming up to your comfort level, but reaching left to right with the arms and fingertips. And when you need to, you're going to release. And slowly you're bringing the hands back in, using that arm strength to come on back. Nice little brief pose of a child again. One hand, one fist rather, on top of the other. Lovely. And then we're going to come back into one last downward facing dog. So get yourself all situated in your tabletop position. So with hands, one hand linked further ahead than our shoulders, come on into downward facing dog. And just notice, does it feel any different from the first downward facing dog you did just a few moments ago? And from here, we're inhaling with strength into our plank pose. So the core is strong and you feel the inner hands, you feel those upper arms isometrically coming closer together. And here you are in your nice strong plank pose. Remember, if you have any issues with your wrists, this may not work for you very well. And one way to help is to start gripping the mat like a little gecko every now and then. Okay? And from here, can you just keep the upper body and the torso as it is and just swivel in the feet just a little bit. Heels to the right, back to center, and then heels to the left. If all this feels okay, just try to do this a couple times to either side. Hopefully the hips and the ankles, everything is moving nicely. It feels nice and smooth. Just slowly do that as long as you don't feel any wrist pain or shoulder pain. And then from here, you can put the knees down first if you'd like. One more downward facing dog. Real long, slow breaths. Feel all those muscles around your rib cage, around the abdomen working hard as you breathe in and out. And then we're all going to begin just to either walk the hands towards the feet or the hands rather towards the feet towards the hands. A little combination of both. And we're going to come bring ourselves into standing. And coming up to standing, just start to form your Tadasana pose, your mountain pose. Remember, you can separate your feet as much as really feels comfortable to you, as long as you can feel the pressure on under the big toe and little toe mound and the heel and press down, you're fine. So find that. And feel the strength build from your feet upward all the way up your legs. Feel the length in your torso. And still breathing long, slow breaths. Let's just start a little movement with this breathing. So as you inhale, you're bringing the arms up and over the head. And as you exhale, you're lowering the arms. Just do that a couple times. And with your full breathing, you're moving the arms up. And you're exhaling right back down again. And the next time you've inhaled and the arms are over the head, you're going to bend the knees just a little bit as you exhale, and you're going to turn the body into a twist to the right, arms front to back. And as you inhale, really full breathing now. This is important with the movement. Bring the arms up. And as you exhale, you're exhaling fully as you have a little twist to the left. You're really reaching arms front to back. Just like that, just a couple more breaths like this. Remember, you're exhaling to either side and pushing those arms left to right, reaching rather. And you're inhaling, straightening the body back up and reaching fully upward, lifting that rib cage away from your hips and pelvis. And when you've done that about 3 times to either side, you're just going to exhale the arms to the sides of the body. And then from here, just heel and toe so you're away, so your feet are about 12 inches away from each other, so that you can very easily step back with that right leg. You want to have all 10 toes pointed in the same direction, hands to the heart. And slowly begin to bend the front knee, which is your left knee. And sink down, feeling the pressure also in the ball of the back foot. And you might feel quite a little stretch in the very front of that back groin. And then inhale, really using those chest muscles, those respiration muscles as you inhale and come up. And the next time you exhale, just bend the elbows and just draw those arms down to a right angle and to that little lotus shape, cactus flower shape rather, sorry. And then as you inhale, you're reaching back up again. And just see if, can you hold it with the arms up over the head as you inhale fully. But when you exhale, you're still holding the arms up this time, but you're really drawing those abdominal core muscles inward. And when you inhale, you're a little more lift, a little more stretch. And then slowly as you exhale next, you're bringing the arms back down to the sides of the body. And then you're just stepping back into the starting position. And just hold that Tadasana for a couple breaths with slightly wider feet. And so you're ready on the next inhale just to step back with the left leg this time. Just take a moment to set yourself up so all 10 toes pointing towards the front. Hands to the heart. And just get a real sense of yourself from the inside out. And then slowly, as you exhale, you're bending the front knee. You're going to sink down just as far as is comfortable for you. You'll probably come up a little bit with that back heel, and that's fine. But you want to press down into the ball of the back foot until you feel a little stretch here, the very top of the back groin. And then when all that is well, you want to inhale the arms up, really reach up. So even our simple familiar poses, we're putting such a mindfulness on this now. And as you exhale, you're drawing those elbows down, contracting the abdomen. On your next inhale, you're reaching back up again. And then on your exhale, you're leaving the arms where they are and really drawing the abdominal core inward. And then extending and stretching as you inhale. And then slowly as you exhale, you're releasing the arms back down to the sides of the body. And then slowly pushing with the ball of that back foot right back into your Tadasana pose. And from here, let's separate our legs nice and wide. Hands are on the hips. Press into the feet and get really tall. Feel the extension as you inhale. And that's exhale, and just bend the body forward into a wide-legged forward bend. And can you come down with your hands and arms so that you can clasp around your ankles with your hands, and just see if that works for you. And then just allow the body to fold forward as much as it can. So hopefully in this position, your neck and head will be able to release downward. Very nice. Just give the spine just a chance to fold as much as it wants to, and don't force anything. Just allow gravity to do its work for you. And when you feel like that's about it, that feels really good, it's not a strain, and you can release it on your exhales into this, The next time you inhale, bend the knees and bring the heart up to a straight back sort of look, and let the knees press outward a little bit. It's a strong pose as you look forward with your heart. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs again and come into as much of a forward bend as your body allows, looking right behind yourself. As you inhale, bending the knees, lifting your heart and chest, and the knees sort of press against each, or rather away from each other as they press outward. Slowly breathing with this movement, you're exhaling into the forward bend. And as you inhale, you're lifting the heart, bending the knees, and just letting the knees press isometrically outward. Nice strong lift in your heart, so your back muscles are even working a little bit. Releasing everything as you exhale. Letting the head get nice and heavy. See if you can do this 2 more times on your own breath. Remember, the movement is as you inhale, you're bending the knees, lifting the heart, lowering your bums, and the knees press outward. And when you exhale, you're releasing into a pure, wide-legged forward bend. So it's all on your own breath. And then the next time you've exhaled and you're in the forward bend, take your hands one at a time and put them on the floor right underneath you. Flip the fingers so they point behind you, and then just really slowly, with your mindful awareness, start walking those hands back underneath you a little more, just to the point that that's about as far as you want to move your hands back. And once you've done that, begin, as you inhale, bend the elbows, legs stay pretty much where they are, and you're rounding the spine just a little bit. The elbows will go to maybe a 90-degree angle or less, and whatever feels okay for you, that's good. So just come into this with a little bent elbow. You're sort of tractioning the floor towards you, pulling the floor towards you from that's behind. And so your spine, your upper body will be rounded just a little bit. Can you stay here for just a few breaths and breathe really long, slow breaths in this slightly rounded upper chest? And again, you can pull the floor towards you a little bit with your hands if it feels like you can get a little bit more. So what you're trying to do when you inhale, you really try to feel the back puff out just a little bit. And when you exhale, you're really trying to rid yourself of the staleness, just like any other breath you would do. It's just in this slightly different position. So maybe as you exhale, you're rounding just ever so slightly more. And when you inhale, you feel yourself puffing out just a little bit more. And after about 5 or 6 breaths in this position, go ahead and just start letting your hands flip your fingers back so they face forward, and bring your hands back more in front of you. Little bend in the knees here, and just come up nice and safely with the strength of your legs so your feet are really pushing into the floor. And come up to a more vertical position, and then just move your feet just slightly closer in, still wide, but a little slightly closer in. So with your feet about 2.5 feet apart, you're going to inhale, raise your left arm. As you raise your left heel, left arm goes at least straight up and maybe even a little beyond your head. As you exhale, you're going to put your left heel back to the floor and just notice that little sensation deep inside the body when you do that. As you inhale next, you're going to reach a little bit more. And as you exhale, come on back. As you inhale next, the right arm rises, the right heel rises, and you reach up over your head, a little beyond the halfway point. As you exhale, you're going to lower the right heel to the floor. Just notice all sensations. And then as you inhale, reach a little more with that right arm over your head. And when you're ready to exhale, you're just going to come right back out again. Just like this, a couple more times on your own breath. As you inhale, raise the left arm and the left heel. And as you exhale, lower the left heel. As you inhale, reach a little bit further. You can use your right hand, remember, as a brace against your thigh. And then as you exhale, coming on back to the center, to the starting position. As you inhale, raising the right arm, raising the right heel, reaching up and over. As you exhale, lower the right heel. Inhaling, you're reaching a little further and just feeling that lovely stretch in the side body. And then as you exhale, coming back to the starting position. And just one more time on your own breath. Just as a reminder, as you lift your left arm, you're lifting your left heel as well. Exhale, the only movement is dropping that left heel to the floor. And then you're inhaling, stretching a little more into the movement. And you exhale, come on out. Oh, this last one, just on your own breath. I want you to feel everything here. And remember, it's on an exhale that you come out. And just heel and toe right back together again. And come into your Tadasana and just place your folded hands to your heart. Pressing the tailbone so it points right between your heels. Just bow your head just a little bit here. Just have 3 long, slow breaths. So the only movement you're feeling in the body now is your own muscles of respiration expanding and contracting. And let's all come to the floor now, and we'll all cool down and close out together. So coming on back down, all the way down to the floor now. And just feel your body extend out. Allow your arms to reach up over your head. And on your next inhale, just have a big stretch here. And as you exhale, just sweep your arms around. Bring your knees up and just envelop your legs in your arms. If it feels okay, as you exhale next, just go ahead and contract your abdomen and bring your forehead right between your knees. And just hold that for a moment. And inhale now, right back into an extended position. Arms are now to the sides of the body. And next time you exhale, just bring the right knee in towards the chest. Interlock your hands just above that right shin. And the next time you exhale, just carry it right a little closer in towards the chest. You know exactly what to do. And just feel that left leg extending out, maybe even just energetically. So you just want to feel some length from the hip to that left heel as you're trying to get that bent right knee as close into the body as you can. Very good. And then just stretch the right leg up. Press the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. And let's just slowly lower on the exhale that right leg to the floor. And let's do the same thing now with the other side. So you're just drawing on an exhale. You're just drawing the left bent knee up and interlocking your hands just above that left shin. As you exhale next, you're just drawing the left thigh a little closer in. Remember to give a little attention now to that extended right leg. So You want to feel it extending outward from the hip out to the sole of the foot, getting just a little bit longer. And every time you breathe in, the legs getting longer on the right, and every time you breathe out, the left bent thighs coming closer in towards the chest. And slowly you're going to release the left sole of the foot to the floor, place the right sole of the foot on the floor, and you don't want your feet really wide, but you don't want them touching either. So just allow 2 or 3 fist widths, your feet being apart from each other. And we're just going to let the knees go towards the right as you exhale. And when you get as far as they want to go, press just a little more firmly on the big toe side of your left foot. And just feel the consequences of that. Just feel the effects of that. Slow breathing as you inhale, knees come back to center. As you exhale, now the knees are going over to the left. And once they get as far as you would like them to go, press a little more fully with the right foot, the big toe side, into the floor. Just like this. Let's just do this a couple more times. You're inhaling to center. You're exhaling over to either side. Remember, when the knees are to the right, you want to press a little more firmly with the left foot, the big toe side. And all you're doing is breathing really fully and deeply, and you're just feeling all the sensations. And they could be really mild sensations, but just notice. And it's lovely. And when you feel like you've had enough of that, just walk your feet closer together and put the soles of the feet so they press into each other. And then you can just let your thighs and knees splay out into a supine Baddha Konasana, or supine bound angle position. And once you're there, just go ahead and allow yourself to roll onto the left side of your hip, left thigh onto the floor. Right knee is going to elevate, and then you can press it a little bit away from the body. Coming on back to the starting position, and then rolling over to the right side of your hip and the right thigh. And then on the inhale, point your left knee a little away from the body. So just feel the tiny effects that you're feeling just by little movements like this, and you're breathing continuously the whole time. Maybe one more time to either side. Wonderful. And now, when you feel complete with that and you're back to center, just allow the knees to come up and place the soles of the feet back onto the floor. Bring the feet, the heels closer in towards your hips. This is have a really simple little bridge pose to end now, just for a little tiny back bend. So you can rock a little bit on the tailbone, as you know how to do. Back and forth. And then when you're ready, from the exhale position with the low back pressed into the floor, you're going to lift your hips like a wave right up. And once they're up like that, you want to make sure the feet are evenly pressed into the floor. Give a little more attention maybe to the big toe side of the foot. And then you want to walk your shoulder blades and arms a little underneath you. If your knees are okay and it feels all right to your body, press a little more into the feet, a little more into the arms, and just lift your hips a little higher. And perhaps you could even, on the next inhale, lift your breastbone a little closer towards your chin. And just have 3 breaths here. And just gently let the arms, the shoulder blades rather, come away from each other. And just lower your back to the floor. Just have any final little movement you'd like, or any final little stretch you'd like. Just take a moment, feel your way through that. And of course, we're heading in the direction of Shavasana. So once you feel ready, just separate those legs a little bit, separate your arms, and just allow your body to really get heavy towards the floor. And just like you did in the very beginning, I want you to go inward, just really attune to your own inner life here. And just notice now what's happening, and do you feel any different from what you did in the very beginning of class? And then let go of all that and just allow yourself to sink to the floor. Allow your breath to become long and slow. And if you notice any tension anywhere in the body, just let your own awareness release and relieve that. And as always in these videos, if you would like to remain in Shavasana for several minutes, that would be really good. I invite you to do that. And for those of you who would like to close out with me, you'll need to slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Again, no requirement to do this. You can remain seated or lying down rather in your own Shavasana for as long as you'd like. And for those of you who are closing out with me, you're in a seated position now. Just let yourself feel the difference of this more vertical position just for a moment. And then you can place hands to the heart. Namaste. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.